This is the farm at Prophetstown. As soon as you come in the park, you'll see it over on the right. Guess this is the first house you see when you come in. The Floyd Garrett tenant house.
It smells like Niagara. This is how it smelled when I was a kid.
I feel like you're in old granny's home here. That's a wedding picture right there. I wonder how old that is. I remember seeing light switches like that in one of my aunt's houses. This was your entertainment back at the turn of the 19th century. Check that dollhouse out. They were modern. They had a radio. They had a telephone.
Sean would never put one of these in their house.
Sears Roebuck Company in Chicago. A lot of people bought stuff from Sears a long time ago, which Sears is almost completely gone now.
This house was a kit house.
Was it a Sears kid house?
No, it was an Honor Bits or something like that.
Because there's a bunch of Sears stuff in this room right here.
This is all Sears stuff over here.
This is model 3015. Cost $3,141 outfitted.
Yeah,
No,
but
that's for the big house next door.
Did they buy it from Sears?
Connie's house is a Sears house.
I thought it says Honor Bad Blitz or something on it,
You
don't it?
used to be able to, here's a home in a box right here.
Did you know that?
Don't touch it, said.
Look, Sears Roebuck.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this was a Sears house, and so was the one next door. That's kind of cool if you think about it. You know, kid houses are coming back, don't you?
But did you realize Connie and Donald's house is a
Yeah,
Sears and Roebuck?
didn't know that.
Yeah. It's a 1934 Sears and Roebuck.
Huh, that's crazy.
For some reason, I'm imagining that back in the day there was a muzzle loader hanging right there.
There's Floyd Garrett right there. He was a graduate of Purdue, which Purdue is fairly close to here. Kitchen. I remember seeing old sinks like this in old houses my mom and my aunt grew up in. There's like a stove like that. Detroit Jewel. I wonder if this was all Sears and Roebuck stuff here. There was so much, people bought motorcycles. There used to be Sears and Roebuck motorcycles, and I did know that they did houses too, but I didn't know they went back this far. Alright. We're going to walk over to the two-story home over here. It was also a Sears and Roebuck house.
No, we're gonna eat first.
Those squashes are
Should we get
huge.
some?
Momo, those squashes are huge.
Those are huge. Well, we can. I have some cash. We can get some.
Free will.
We'll donate them. You can take it.
This is fancy.
Still got a toy box full of Lincoln Logs.
Radio still works. Lincoln Logs. Man, you'd have had to have a big family to live here. Big dining room table. These people probably well off back in the day. Look how big that door is right there. Is that the pantry? That's a huge door.
It's the.
Elevator. Oh my freaking God.
I feel like that wasn't in there.
Your freaking elevator. These people were considered rich back in the day. There's a downstairs there too.
Of course, I've had everybody say they didn't want to partake in it, so I'll be doing that.
This be $1 million home in today. There's an elevator down here too. It's kind of weird. I don't think that elevator was here back in the day. For some reason, I thought that was a pantry. I guess they got that for the handicap. Washroom. This is what your old washing machine would look like, and that would be fancy. 'Cause most people did it by hand. Carriages, all kinds of stuff out there. Drives without a wrinkle, never a broken billet. I'm sure that's probably another Sears and Roebuck. Elevator down there.
That's an elevator in there.
It goes down to the bottom floor and also probably the top. Because I'd say for handicap.
The staircase used to be.
Yeah.
So you can't go upstairs anymore.
I guess that. Right, so you're still on your navigation.
Yeah, I got set for Joey's house.
Entertainment room, I guess. This must be the stuff they sell.
As it's getting dark, too dark to work outside, sitting there smoking a pipe.
What's,
Your wife sitting here knitting or crocheting, listening to the radio.
you think that's really the radio playing or that's a recording?
Let's say it's recording.
Yeah, because think about what it's saying.
Yeah, that sounds like World War II stuff, don't it?
Oh, I guess this is like a gift shop.
So they got that set up, that radio set up to play, but it's not really playing with over the radio waves. There's another one of those cool light switches. I guess they really got this stuff for sale. Donations. It's called the Farm of Prophetstown, if anybody's interested. And it's inside the state park.
We're gonna go to the stables.
Guess we could.
Them spokes right there. You can blame Kingsford Charcoal on them spokes right there.
Why's that?
Because Kingsford Charcoal, a lot
Actually,
of
just Kingsford. It
well,
was before it.
after he come out with these spokes,
Yeah.
Henry Ford did not like to waste anything. He went out behind his factory and seen these mounds and mounds of sawdust. So he sent one of his right-hand men to figure out what they could do with sawdust to reuse it. He heard about a briquette that was being burned overseas, called coal briquettes or something like that. I can't remember what it's technically called. The guy went and researched them over in wherever charcoal was actually invented at.
Yeah.
He come home, told Henry Ford about it. Henry Ford let him take over the project and build the plant in America. And they started turning the sawdust from the spokes of wheels into briquettes. And when you bought a Model T or a Model A, no, it was a Model T, you got a free bag of charcoal briquettes. Well, then when these spokes, metal spokes come out, Henry Ford didn't know what to do with this charcoal plant. So he let King have it. The guy's name was King. Well,
That's how they come with Kingsford.
in honor of Henry Ford, he calls it King's Ford Charcoal.
Huh.
And he started having sawdust hauled in and kept producing it. And that's how Kingsford Charcoal come to be.
So that's how went from wood spokes to.
When they went from wood spokes to metal spokes, Henry Ford no longer needed the charcoal plant. So he let King buy it or take it over. And in honor of Henry Ford, he called it King's Ford Charcoal.
Oh, cool. Those chickens are going out of that chicken coop to stay cool on that dirt. Look how see how the chickens like to dig in the dirt there. Are these laying eggs or something down there?
It's cooling off.
Just cooling off?
Chicken air conditioner.
I thought that's the reason why he's in is cool off, but I didn't know if he had some eggs down there or what.
They use that to cool off, and they also use it to kill mites. Little mites that gets on them.
Yeah.
The dust actually suffocates the mites.
That's how they call it.
Nobody here but us chickens.
What am I doing?
Get your face in there.
Turn it over. Probably need to back up to get the whole thing open.
The beard works. I don't think they had sunglasses back in the day.
Come on, take sunglasses off. There you go.
Yeah, it might have worked better if I had my face in there a little bit better.
What you're looking at here
That's steam, ain't it?
is, no, it's a single cylinder engine. These are still well sought after today. Believe it or not, your first washer machines, motorized washer machines, came with this engine on it. Now this one here is set up for an ice cream maker.
Oh, cool.
You put all your ingredients in a drum, put the drum down in there and it hooks onto that, and then you fill that full of ice and salt water. And this will sit there and turn that until you get ice cream, homemade ice cream. So this is an ice cream maker here.
Ah.
Is it sad I can remember using a lot of this stuff?
Blacksmith will travel. Went to travel. Went to town. The blacksmith went to town.
Anything in here you'd like to
I
know
guess you
what it
just
is?
kind of, I guess you gotta heat that up, right?
Yeah.
Stoke a fire and then heat that up and then pound that out on that.
Now
That's an anvil.
when machinery like this one here come out, blacksmiths had to make these links. A lot
Yeah.
of people don't realize that. You could buy them, but when you lived in a place like this and it would take you 2 seasons to get these and you couldn't wait that long, your blacksmith would actually have jigs to make these. I can remember seeing the jigs growing up. You can make a link or 2 at a time and pound them out and make links.
Damn. Cool. Crib. It's just, is this kind of something like you were saying over at the Indian place?
Yeah, you put your corn in there. And
I see where-
it stays aerated just like it is. With the
I
slats.
see how they got the slats there.
Yeah.
So
And now that's your
it's more modern.
extraction chute is what that is. As the corn drops, you take a board out as your corn levels fall.
This is more modern than what was over at the Indian place.
See, eventually, as your corn drops and you take slide out, you know, until you get down to where you can actually just walk in there and get your corn. That's what that is.
Is that kind of something similar there?
Wheat, barley, hops.
I guess grind it up there.
Yep.
Feed grinder. Corn sheller.
Okay, I've
Junior
seen one of these actually in
Cider
use.
press.
You put your ear of corn up here, and you crank the handle, and your corn goes out there, and your ear spits out somewhere.
Spits out the bottom, don't it?
No, your corn goes into that, and then the cob spits out the other side, over on the back side. I've actually seen one
Oh,
of those
okay.
used.
There's a hole right there. And that's to make apple cider, right?
Well, you can make apple or peach or whatever kind of cider you want, and it just squashes it.
Scale. Old scale right there.
You can make grape wine and everything with one of those presses there.
Would they probably maybe weigh out the mill and stuff like that on there?
If you're gonna sell it, yeah.
If they're gonna sell it?
Yep.
Let's see what the girls found over here.
Those are pigs. They're ancestors.
You're gonna get us in trouble. Berkshire pigs. Oh, they're chilling, ain't they?
Enjoying that mud.
Enjoying the mud, guys and girls. Stretching. Feel pretty damn good, huh? They probably keep the flies and stuff off of them that way too, don't it?
It's mainly just for the temperature. They can't sweat; they'll die in the heat.
Oh, so it just kind
They
of cools
get
them
mud
off.
to cool off.
Cool. They can bite, it says. You bite. It says, do not chase our chickens, ducks, and turkeys. It stresses them out. Animals at farm love having visitors, but use caution. They can bite.
Now, you know what these are?
What is that?
It's what you put your cow in to milk it. Put your grain or your hay in here. You bring your cow in when they stick their head through here. You can close that on their neck so they can't pull their head back. Then you can get behind them and milk them. Or you can, if you're going to do something for a veterinarian, check them for pregnancy, whatever, you can do it while it's trapped in this.
Huh. Cool. good thing we got our guide here to tell us about this stuff I don't know nothing about.
Spent many a days with the woodwork, the electrical, the registers, everything was exactly Sears Roebuck.
We had the wallpaper underneath our wall.
Your wheels? That's made out of wood.
That's a Bryce. It's a Chevy. It's a Chevy truck.
Chevrolet.
Yeah, it's even more rare. $550 in a day.
Tell you a couple other neat things about it if you want to see it.
Sure.
This is a little bit more
What year is it?
1926. Obviously, it's a Chevrolet.
We was
That
thinking
happens to be your temperature gauge right there, by the way. It's got exposed push rods in it.
Holy, it sure does.
And the 4 holes up here in the valve cover, we take the oil can and put a couple drops of oil up in there, and there's a big, huge piece of felt that's in there that is oil soaked. And so as the rocker arms go up and down, the rocker arms hit the felt and kind of self-lubricate themselves. The only pressurized system in this is in order to get from the sump up into the little troughs that are underneath each connecting rod, and they just use like a scraper or shovel, whatever you want to call it, in order to get the
Keep the
oil
water
up into the
on the
connecting
camera.
rod. Yep. So this is what I was talking to you about here.
Oh,
That's
the
actually the fuel pump.
holy mackerel.
And what it is a big giant vacuum can that operates off engine vacuum. And there's another float inside of it and a couple of valves and stuff like that. And as the vacuum of the engine, even when you're cranking it, it opens everything up in the float there, and it sucks the gas from the gas tank up into that and then flows down into the carburetor. Right at the moment, it's not doing that. So I'm going to order a rebuilt kit for it and do it.
wow.
Is there a
That's
filter
cool.
I'm not
somewhere
used to
back
seeing
there?
the heater. The heater's blowing my
We
mind.
don't need no filter.
On that gas tank or anything like
Heater?
that?
No, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's the heater.
That's a heater.
That's crazy.
I've never seen one.
That's an aftermarket.
Is
I
it?
guess that's something you may have up in the north.
I've never seen one. That's what I was.
Open and close the vent right there.
Too cool.
How many speeds? 3?
Actually, that's what this is supposed to, but somebody's put a 4-speed in it.
Wow.
The story on this truck, we got it off of a gentleman that lives south of the Indianapolis airport. His father, Mr. Spalding, found this 40 years ago in pieces all over the place. It took him like 15, 20 years, something like that, to gather all the pieces up in order to restore it, which he did. The engine was restored by Jasper Engines, and then he took the remains of all the woods that you see and used that as a pattern in order to rebuild the body and the bed on, because when these were brand new from the factory, what you would get was what you would see in the way of metal and the running gear. You had to take it somewhere and either have somebody put a body on it, or you had to build the body yourself.
Wow. Well, probably had a lot of people back in the day could probably do that. I would imagine.
There were tons of
There's a
people.
place called Brown's Equipment in Barberville, Kentucky that did that. You buy a kit car, take it to them, take them about 3 months to put it together, and then you can go get it.
Yep. I believe Chevrolet, General Motors, whatever, started coming out and selling their own bodies somewhere right around 28, 27, something like that, because they realized they were losing a lot of money by selling it the way they were. But then again, the way economics were back in the day, it was a relatively inexpensive way in order to get a vehicle. And of course, farmers back in the 20s still had draft horses, but they were relying on to plow their fields. So a farmer would much have a truck or a car like the Model T in order to go to town, so they could sell their goods and maybe bring a bowl of cloth back for the missus and have her make a new dress for herself or whatever, or something like that, instead of buying a tractor. So trucks and cars were the first things that started popping up on farms before
A lot of people
tractors
don't realize
did.
that practice stayed all the way through the 90s. Because in the 90s, semis, the Marmon semis that's no longer made now,
Yeah.
you still bought them as a kit. The Marmon dealers had to put them together. And there's actually a trucking company right down the road here. It used to be called Days Express. Now it's called Hoosier Air. He was a Marmon dealer. And when Marmon filed bankruptcy, he had 9 kits in his garage. Couldn't sell them because there was no warranties or nothing else anymore. So he put them together and started his own trucking company with a truck that no longer existed, the Marmon truck.
So
And now he's still in business today. It's called Hoosier Air.
neat.
Thanks for letting us see it.
Hey, no problem.
It's pretty cool.
Questions, fire away.
I've never seen this old of a Chevy though. I'm glad to come over here.
Yeah, we thought for sure it was a Ford.
That's what everybody thinks.
I said,
Believe it or not, in 1925, Chevrolet actually outsold Ford for the first time.
wow.
And that was one of the reasons that Ford finally went to Model A.
I think that it's just more rare you see something that old by a Chevy. You don't, because you see so many of the Fords, you know.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they sold 15 million
Yeah.
Model Ts of various, whatever. So
In your wallet for these clothes.
Glorious work.
Thanks for your time.
hey, no problem. Happy.
Well, that's all we have today here at Prophetstown. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. And we'll catch you next time, guys and girls. Later.